Hello, 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 everybody. Y'all, welcome and come on up in here. Get in here. Hey, y'all, what y'all doing? Y'all come on in. Please hit that good like, share, and subscribe button for your girl. Make sure you got your notification bell turned on as well so you know each and every time that I go live. And if you're catching this on the replay, thank you and welcome. Come on in. Make sure you hit that good like, share, and subscribe button for me. Y'all know we have that little 10-minute mark, so I'll be right back. Y'all get on in here. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Thank y'all for popping in. I greatly appreciate y'all so much. Y'all see my big old sign up here says trigger warnings. Yes, it does say trigger warning because I'm gonna show y'all a picture that might trigger somebody. So I say trigger warning. My thumbnail says a DV is real. That is true. But not only can we talk about DV, if y'all got something pressing on the heart, mind, body, and soul this afternoon, y'all, we can talk about it and discuss it. It doesn't matter to me. Y'all know how I do. I just be sometimes just pop on up here just to be running off at the mouth, child. But I truly hope that this do help someone, that may be in a situation or whatever, child. And I like talking about stuff like this too that can help somebody. Hopefully it does. But anyway, hey Miss Jennifer, she says, good evening, everyone. Miss Cheryl says, hello, everyone. Seattle will be here. Thank you, Miss Seattle. Miss Maria, my mod. Hey, beautiful. She says, good evening, squad. It's a G thing. Join the live. It's a vibe. Tap the screen. It don't cost a thing. Help us grow. Subscribe, support, $ G Strickland 8, and share. Join the squad for $2.99. Enjoy. Miss Maria says, house rules, no CC's names, initials only. Use nicknames for the strike happy folk. Use creative spelling for cursing. Over here, we agree to disagree. Respect for discourse only. All is alleged. Thank you, Miss Maria. She's speaking to everybody. She says at Faith. She says, good evening, friend. Miss Cheryl, she says, hey, girl. Hey, what's shaking in Seattle? Hey, Miss Sonia. She says, hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for popping in. As always, beautiful. Miss Denise says, hello, everyone, mods and chat. Hey, beautiful, welcome. She says, hey, G, hey, sis, hey, girl, hey, how are you this afternoon? Miss Jennifer says, hi, Denise, how are you doing? Miss Ophelia says, hello, G Squad, everyone. Hey, beautiful, thank you for popping in as always. Miss Jennifer said, Denise, I need your TikTok name. Miss Denise, if you got your TikTok name, Miss Jennifer needs it. Miss Gail. Hey, Miss Gail, how are you? Beautiful. She says, hey, G, everyone again. Hey, y'all. Miss Maria speaking to everybody. Ophelia, hey, friend, where you been? Hey, Gail, hey, friend. Hey, Miss Jersey girl, how are you this afternoon? Beautiful. Thank you for popping in. And Miss Maria says, Miss Ophelia says, hello, Aunt Maria. So to the good people. Like I said, if y'all got something that y'all want to talk about after I finish, we can go right on into that afterwards. Y'all know how I do. It doesn't matter to me. But so I was minding the business that pays me. And I came upon uh 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 Jada Smith Red Table Talk, child. hmm To tell y'all the truth, I hadn't seen it in so long. I really didn't think it was still going on. Jada up there, she ain't got no hair. Her daughter done cut all off her hair. And her mom is sitting over there, all three of them looking just like the Three Stooges, child. They look just alike, child. I can't even about to lie about that right there, child. But yes, they were sitting up there, the red table talk. So I said to myself, I said, well, let me just pop on up in here and see what the girls was talking about and make sure I'm subscribed so I don't be missing no red table talks, because sometimes they do have some good stuff over there. I ain't about to lie to the people. But as I was listening to them, listening to the table talk, Miss Sonia says, hi, Ophelia, Miss Denise, and Jersey girl. Miss Gail says, hello, Maria, how are you? So yeah, as I was listening, child, it came across. So y'all know I am a big Nelly and Ashanti's fan. I really am. Ain't even gonna lie on that. But I was kind of like blown away, child, when I synced and I heard Ashanti's little sister Shea talking about her situation in domestic violence with her partner at the time. She has now like what I saw, it says it was 2 months ago, but she said that it happened in, I think it was 2018, like 7 years ago. But she's opening up and she's talking about her situation and what she went through. It was very sad, very scary. It was kind of a trigger warning for myself as well, because I tell people all the time, physical is bad, yes, it is. But verbal is worse than physical to me because physical will heal in time. Verbal goes on and on and on and on in your mind. It can do that. And so I remember there was this lady up here, and I was talking about a situation that I was in, but with a narc, but mine was verbal, more verbal abuse. And I was telling the people how, my heart used to flutter all the time just for no reason. And I couldn't figure it out. I was like, well, Lord, why is my heart feeling like this? Just fluttering and all of that kind of stuff. Just like an emotional roller coaster or whatever. So that lady, she asked me how long did it take for me to heal from being in that situation. And I told her, I said, my time might not be your time. Everybody's different. It affects people differently or whatever. So I really can't answer that question. But she did share that she had been at the point where she was suicidal from the said situation that she had been in. So that's why she had asked me that. She had to be put on some, medication and all that kind of stuff. I ain't go through all of that. Like I said, some people are worse than others. So but to me it equals out to be all the same. Hey, Miss Candy, she says yes, she has talked about her abuse a few years ago. Her ex was terrible. Yes, he was, child. He was so terrible. Thank you, Miss Candy, for popping in. Greatly appreciate you as well. And like I said, I hope this live reaches somebody, y'all, that's going through some stuff like this, and it can truly help the people. But yeah, she shared her story. Her mama and Ashanti, they came out with her, for the love and support and all of that, child. But the recording that was played up there on the Red Table Talk, you could hear him yelling and screaming at her, "Get the knife, get the knife, go ahead, go ahead." It was like a demon coming up out of him. And he just wanted her to end him. He wanted her to end him the way he was screaming and all of that at her and stuff. Child, this fool was so bad and so boastful. He strangled this young lady in the house with her mother and sister was in there. I don't know where the daddy was. The daddy has always been, what Ariana say, co-birth like one two-parent household. This was really a two-parent household, not one in the house and living down the street. Although that Ashanti's mama was out on the road with her a lot. But yeah, it was still a two-parent household. He was there with the baby sister. She was finishing up school. Ashanti's mama was out on the road with her, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, he was so boastful. He strangled her in the house with her mom and sister was actually in the house. And Jada then was like, "Oh, he was bold, wasn't he?" Yes, he was bold. Miss Maria says that, Candy, what up, Doc? Hope you've had a great Sunday. Yes, hope you got some rest, Miss Candy. But she said, yeah, he was bold. But it was terrible to see. She says she has grown a lot. It takes a lot of time, y'all, for real, when you go through something like that, just alone to heal. Well, I'm getting ready to see, can I bring this picture up that she said this was the draw for her. This was it for her to say, enough. I've had enough, because I tell y'all all the time, whenever we go through it, we tend to make excuses. We do. We're gonna make excuses for a said person because we think we're in love and all of that kind of stuff. So trigger warning. Let me see, can I move myself off of this here screen? Oh, I'm back. But yeah, that was so bad. When we go through things like that, y'all, people, we find ourselves in a situation like that, and not that we are aware at the time when we meet certain people that we ever think that we'll go through a situation like that, and it could get to that point. It could have been worse than what you just saw, with her mouth and all of that stuff. Um, we don't want to see that. And I'm sure she probably seen some red signs about his behavior, his attitude, or whatever. But at the same time, she made up excuses. She did say that he was a narc and how he was manipulating her family, meaning with Ashanti, her mom, and her dad, and them, saying things about her. And that's one thing about when you deal with a narc, they're one way with you, but when they get out amongst people, they're totally different. So it makes it hard when you be trying to explain or tell somebody what you're actually going through, because they're gonna be like, "Oh, who you talking about? We ain't never seen that person right there." Or I mean, what is really going on? No, that's not him. People will really say that. And when you go through that, child, if it's you don't really know where to begin to really tell somebody what's really going on with you, because you're dealing with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's a real thing. Show enough a roller coaster ride. Miss Ophelia says, hello at Sonya. Miss Gail says, I'm well, thanks for asking. But yeah, it's a real roller coaster ride. So, I thought that, that was just amazing for her to just come out and speak about her story, that what she had went through. And you know what? Also, it sheds a light on him, because a lot of people too probably would have seen her and him out together and wouldn't have probably never believed that this dude was that way. So she made a post on maybe her IG or Facebook or whatever. She posted up what had happened to her. That picture y'all just saw with her mouth, the recording of him yelling and screaming at her and all of the above. Well, they were some young chicken heads out there on the internet, child. They thought it was funny, y'all. They was poking fun. She said, Ashanti said that she seen some pictures where, probably some girls that he had dealt with in the past or something, up there on the Facebook or Instagram, pointing at their mouth like as to say, I still got my teeth and all of that kind of stuff. But baby, I'm here to tell you today, if they did her, if he did her like that, you're no different. In due time, you will see what she have seen as well. He's gonna come out. It's gonna come out because he has not healed or been healed from whatever has happened to him. So um they was just talking about how ignorant, some females is, and females are like that because we're so catty amongst each other. I got him now, you ain't got him, da 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 da, and all of that. They do the most, job. Ms. Maria says a lot of serial unalivers are like that. When their neighbors and friends are asked, they all say how kind, wonderful, and well-rounded the man. Um, let's see. Uh, uh, a man they know is how well wonderful and well-rounded the man they know is. Yeah, absolutely. But I told y'all about the story about my niece. She was in a situation like that at one time, and he done took the bottle and hit her over the head, kind of leave him out there for dead and all that kind of stuff. You out there on a wild goose chase trying to find your loved one. So, I'm so proud of her. I think she was 22 at the time when it happened. Um, she probably like 29, 30, 30 something like that, probably now. But yeah, it was just amazing, because everybody that deals with narcissistic people, they don't always get away. And narcissistic, when you hear that word, it's not just for a man. There are some narcissistic women in the world as just as bad as these men are. So men do go through abuse as well. But yeah, it was just I thought that was so big of her and amazing for her to just jump out here and share her story with the whole world. But they did let Jada and them know, speaking out, talking about it, it's helping save other people's life. She said that it was so many people that has been reaching out to her on the Instagram and whatever, about her story. And it just take one person, y'all, one person to come out and start talking. And then we're going to get some more people to come out and be like, hey, I went through that as well. Hey, I was married and I went through DV or whatever. Hey, I didn't know how to leave. I was scared. I didn't know how to get out of it. But I knew if I didn't leave, he probably end up unaliving me, or I unaliving him. Something bad is going to happen or whatever. But um it helped her, but shared that, put that spotlight up over there on him. And why I say put the spotlight on him, because you get out there, brother, and you get to dating somebody else. I hope they have seen her story, and I hope they take heed to her story, because not all of them that probably get involved with him, they may not be able to get away or escape, or even have such a supportive family like she did. They did say that they did. I don't think they even told her dad what had happened, or what she had went through. They didn't call him, but I'm sure he probably knows by now what had happened with that, because child, he probably went, probably had the peace be still. Ashanti said she went after that fool with a daggone baseball bat, but he was down there. She said he was down there talking to her like nothing had even happened. But he knew by the time she ran back up them stairs and synced her sister, all holy hell about to bust out, and they about to come get you. So, brother, see them old narcs, they some scary bastards too, y'all. They just real scary people. They just want you to fight back. But yeah, he knew by the time she ran up them steps, he said, I better go, because they about to come get me. They gonna bust my head to the white meat. So Shanti said that when she ran back down them stairs, she said, I had on a nightgown and a bonnet. And I said, you better get in, my dear. She said, I grabbed that damn baseball bat out of that garage. I went looking for him. I said, child, he had enough sense to say, I better go, and I better go into hiding right now. Miss Candy says women should feel empowered to tell abuse one time is too many times. Absolutely. Don't y'all take this lightly. For anybody that's catching this on the replay, like I said, I seen it on the Red Table Talk. With Jada Smith and her mom and sister, and all of them was up there. So yeah, if anybody, go over there and listen to that young lady's story and all that stuff, child. It was amazing. I really enjoyed it a few minutes ago. But I hope somebody catch this on the replay. And we don't never know. Somebody's probably, in a situation. You got a family member that's in that situation. You hate that they in that situation. You want to save their life in that situation. But yeah, so shout out to her for coming out and sharing her story, putting that spotlight on that fool where that spotlight deserves to be. Because nah, you don't be no coward. Now, this is what you did. Don't go hide. We need you to stand 10 toes down in this mess right here, what you done. And always, y'all, whenever they do something to you or call you out of your name, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna say, you made me say that, you made me do that to you, or something like that. But you ain't made them fools do nothing, child. That's just instilled in them clowns. And they don't, I guess maybe they afraid to go get some help. I don't know what the problem is and why they don't go get no help. They like to keep whatever happened to them in their younger years suppressed down. They don't want to talk about it, or even if somebody, let's say somebody in their family went through or know what's going on with them, that first thing they're gonna tell them to shut up. Nobody want to talk about that mess. Nobody don't want to hear it. Still suppressing it down. Still suppressing it down. But that's not healing. At one point you just probably end up exploding behind all of that craziness that has gone on. But that's what I wanted to come and share with y'all. So shout out to her little sister for being strong enough to just come out and share and tell her story. And what I have to say to her, walk around with your head held up high, because you did not do anything wrong. Yeah, she said she did forgive herself. And she said she has forgiven him as well. And we have to, y'all, when people do evil stuff to us like that. You can't hold on to it. You do really have to let it go. So for that lady that was up here some time ago on my live, she had came up on the panel, and she was sharing her story. I hope she's okay. I haven't seen her in a while. Um, so I like I said, she did say she was at the point of, not wanting to be here anymore. And Ashanti's sister said that as well. She thought about ending her life at one point and all that kind of stuff. It's a ugly roller coaster ride that you go on when you deal with these narcs. Miss Maria says that's why it takes so long for some women to break free. They have been a condition to accept blame for their partner's bad behavior. Absolutely. Miss Candy says love does not hurt. Love does not hurt. Love does not supposed to hurt. But when we are in that situation and we feel as though we know that person more than that person probably know they self, and we're gonna make all kinds of excuses on Miss Candy. You had a bad day, um, the children ain't acting right. Or we gonna create and make up some kind of excuse for that person's behavior when that is not helping that person, and we shouldn't do that. But like I said, we do find ourselves doing um that kind of stuff like that. But at the same time, they're gonna start looking at you as you being a weak person. You're so weak. Um, they want you to stand up, and then again, they just want to be able to knock you down whenever they want to knock you down. I say it like that. But yeah, so blessings to her and her family um on that journey. She did say that she was in therapy, going through therapy, and her mom said that whenever she first said that she was going to therapy, she was like, "What you going to therapy for? I'm your mama." She didn't understand at the time. So that now they have made therapy. It's a family thing and all of that kind of stuff. So so much love and prayers up to that family. I know it's still a process. It's they still on the healing journey behind that diagrammatic demon that entered their life, child. He fooled the people, child. He set them people up. So um, if I were him, child, I think I'd had to move up out of the city. Thank you, Miss Maria. I would have to move up out of that city because I don't know who. And she done hit the YouTube streets with this here of me and my bad behavior. So everybody knows about this right here. So I can't hide. She didn't protect me. She just threw me out there for millions and millions of people can see and hear me. Child, if he ain't got no sense, he probably gonna still be in the city. But if you got a little taste of sense, partner, I just go ahead and throw my hands up and say I surrender, and I'm about to get up out of this city here, child. Go somewhere else and try to be a better person. Don't just leave the city with your bad behavior. Leave the city and go get some help and try to become a better person and all that stuff. But she said, it takes time though, but she did share that, she did find love again, and stuff like that. If it don't kill you, it's supposed to make you stronger, child. So yeah, so she's been, going on now and sharing her story with as many people as she can share her story with. It's an amazing story, and I'm just so proud of her, to come out, because like we say, people don't be talking about that stuff. Even Ashanti mama said, "Oh, we was very private. We're a private family. We don't be talking about stuff that they got going on or they going through." But she came out and she shared her story and she told her story. So I'm sure they got some cousins around there, some peoples, and some old people with the baseball bats. So I don't think that brother's in that city no more, child. I think he just probably jet. He jetted, child. If he didn't, he should have. But child, if you seen how he was just snatching them drawers open in the kitchen, grab the knife, grab the knife. Child, it was like he had a death wish. You like, can you just please take me out of my misery? I'm miserable. I don't like myself. Can you do this for me? But nah, she didn't do it, child. And it was just terrible. But yeah, that cussing and all of that, child. That's not even good either. A lot of people say, "Well, he just called me a B yesterday. He gonna call you a B the next day. He get an opportunity to. That B gonna play in your mind for a little bit. He gonna call you a B this minute. The next minute he gonna be like, "Oh, I love you. You know I didn't mean that. I ain't gonna say it no more. First chance they get, they gonna say it again." So yeah, sometimes you well, not sometimes, you need to teach people how to treat you. Look at here. If I meet you, we get to talking, and we might end up being a couple. Let me tell you what you better not do is don't you call me out of my name. don't you be yelling and all that stuff. You gonna have to talk to me like you got some sense, or you ain't gonna be talking to me at all. Set your boundaries, baby. And some more other stuff that goes along with that. Just set your boundaries and stand 10 toes down in it. Don't let people be treating you any kind of way. Miss Maria says, being a private family helps a generational curses stay hidden. Absolutely, Miss Maria. That is so true. And I'm sure her mom and them didn't want everybody in the world to see or even know that she went through it. I'm sure they had probably had mixed feelings pertaining to it. But as time has gone by, and she's sharing her story, I think she's going on speaking engagements about DV and all that kind of stuff. So when I win my $40 million, all y'all, we coming together, child. We about to open up this house for these here girls that's going through, give them a safe place to be and feel comfortable and stay till they and we're gonna help them try to figure out how to get themselves together, get back on their feet and all of that kind of stuff, because that's one of the biggest reasons why they stay. They be like, I don't have a lot of money, I don't have this, I don't have that. If I walk away from this, where am I gonna go? All kinds of thoughts and things goes through your mind when you out there dealing with somebody like that. And also they know that too when they take control of you. Prime example would be, I could say, like Simon Gumbadi. Y'all know I love to say Gumbadi. He had her Portia to quit all her jobs that she had when she met him. No doubt it was probably starting to creep in, the control. You only, the money you have is what I give you. You ain't got no more money. You ain't got no job. So when you run into somebody and they talking about, I don't want you to work. No, no, baby. You go to work. If you can go to work, have a little taste of a job. It's better than no job at all. And you find your little nest hole, and you try to stash it down to the side. Because when that joker start flipping out, child, you say, okay, deuces, I'm out of here. Miss Jennifer says, I would be their arm guard for the lady. Ms. Maria says, people need to see the survivors. People need to know are these things. Let's see. These things happens, but you can survive. Absolutely. You most certainly can. It's not easy though. It's just, it's not nothing that you can rush through. It's just a slow healing process. And there's no time limit on it. Don't never let nobody tell you, oh girl, you should be over that by now. They don't know how uh in depth and how it was and what you tolerated and the people don't know all of that stuff. Miss Maria says, gee, that's why I've said being a stay-at-home wife is a trap. I totally agree. Setting you up for the okey doke, child. They will set you up and leave you out there all by yourself. Yeah, because they know what you got. They know what they give you. They know how far you're gonna be able to go with that right there. So yeah, so if you're a stay-at-home person, I hope that you got some means of income hitting your account every month. Is it good to share your life with people when you meet them? Let me tell y'all, a lot of times when we meet people, they be like, so why you not dating? So what's your story? And sometimes you might get so comfortable that you be like, okay, he seems like a pretty good, nice guy. I can share my story, child. Don't be telling all your life history, your business to these clowns, child. Because first chance they get, they're gonna use it against you. What I did in my past life have nothing to do with this right here present life. So, I don't put it behind me and I don't want to go dig that trash up. I don't want to talk about it. I'm just moving forward right now. I'm single by choice. That part right there, and I'm good with it. I've been good with my single life, enjoying myself, finding myself, and learning and loving on myself, and that is okay. So shout out to all the good people that's been going through some things such as this here DV situation, and all of that, child. like that wildebeest trying to make her daughter stay with that Marceau child. That's abuse right there. That's why that child be depressed sometimes. And she'd be like, I couldn't get out of the bed. I just yeah, because he tearing her nerves out of pieces, child. Her nerves ain't gonna be no good. She ain't gonna be no good for nobody. Not even herself and the children, child. But that's for the people that love a man more than they love themselves, child. I cannot nah, I'm good with it. But yeah, that's really about all I had. Y'all got anything y'all want to share? Y'all want to talk about before we get up off of here? But yeah, I did think that was an amazing story. Um, the strength of her to come out and talk about it. Young woman. And it can possibly, hopefully, help somebody else, or maybe somebody just maybe emailing her and just talking to her, just chatting it up. We can never tell nobody, if I were you I would leave. Don't do that. you know because when you say stuff like that, people gonna eventually come back and blame you. Oh, I left him because of you. Da, da, da. No, 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 no. I can give you my advice if it was me, but I ain't about to tell you what to do. I can listen all day, but the decision is gonna be left up to you. That's it. That's all. That's about the best I can do. Mm-mm. Nah, y'all won't come back and throw that off on me up over here. So that's it. That's all, child. I just thought I would share her story, child. But they so many other young girls, even probably in middle school, child, little boys with them demons all up in them, traumatizing them little girls and all that kind of stuff, child. So a lot of people be saying, you walking around with kids in middle school, elementary, even elementary school. I'm saying elementary school. You walking around like you trying to figure out how you gonna pay the light bill. People, we have to keep in mind that the kids, they are human beings. They have things that they be going through too. It ain't even got to be nothing about a light bill. Bullying at the school and all that kind of stuff. Child can be going on. Always let your child know that it's a safe place for you to come to me and talk about whatever you may be going through. Miss Maria says, some guy tried to interrogate me. Where you work? How many kids you got? What you drive? I asked him, you an investigator? He said no. And I went, child, like a nod. Child, no, don't be telling the people your business. They're just looking for something to use on a rainy day. What they call it, mad day. That's what they call it, mad day. I went back to reading my book. Child, I would have went back to sleep probably or somewhere. No, it's just they just looking for something. Because maybe in their eyesight, they probably looking like you got it all together. You probably ain't never been through nothing. Let me see if I can hear your story. What you got? What you got that I can put in my back pocket for a rainy day that I can pop back out on you and make you relive some things because you looking like you think you all of that. Miss Maria said that joker didn't even ask my name. Child, he didn't want to know your name. He didn't want to know your name, but he wanted to know all the other stuff, child. I'm trying to tell y'all that's just something they want to be able to use for that old mad day, rainy day, or whatever, child. But don't give the people that power. Do not give it to them. It's irrelevant. You just meeting somebody. Move forward. Just if they ask you about your past life, just say I had a good life. And in all reality, you may have went through some things, but you're still living amongst the living people. So yes, you've had a good life. So that's what you can say. I've had a good life. Everything is good. God is blessing, and that's it. That's all. Don't tell them nothing else, child, because I'm trying to tell you, if they're not a mature person, they're gonna use it on mad day. That's it. That's all. But anyway, y'all, I just wanted to come up and talk about that with y'all good people for a little bit. And like I said, I do hope and pray to God that, somebody just hit their button, child. We never know. I hit that button to play, and they can hear the story and maybe even, look it up and hear her talking about her story. Because I did she has a YouTube channel. So I did subscribe to her channel, to hear her story, a little more in depth. Because, on the Red Table Talk, they probably don't have it so so long that they can be up there. But yeah, she's sharing her story up there. But anyway, thank you, Miss Maria. Miss Denise, she says, thanks for dropping in. Hope you enjoyed the live. Help us grow. Subscribe, support, and share. Join the squad for $2.99. Until next time, wishing you love, peace, and hair grease. Absolutely. Thank y'all so much. But I have to say this before I do get up off here. When you're talking about something that can help somebody, child. The people get the scattering, child. People be searching the daggone internet for some drama. Child, I cannot. Miss Maria says, hey, on ice cream truck just went down the street. Child. Okay. But anyway, I love y'all. I'm going to catch y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good one. Bye.